First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashem means in the name, Rukah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's on the Paleo Hebrew. I also give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And a massive post by Trump literally 2-3 hours ago. And as you see on the thumbnail of the video, it says Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. So Trump's on one, man. Trump is on one, and he's fulfilling the prophecies. Okay, because hey, if he's putting a date on it, Tuesday, hey, we'll see. I'll just put it like that. We'll see, but his intentions are clear. He's going to do everything in his means to ultimately try to throw down Iran. And like I said, the U.S. is going to do something so outrageous that it's going to get every single ally it has against it. Let's start with that. So when you go into Revelation chapter 17 and I'll start at verse 12. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast." And without going too deep into it, right, the 10 horns goes into NATO, okay? It goes into NATO. And that's why it says that they receive power with the king or the beast 1 hour, and they have one mind, and they give their power and strength to the beast. Because the motto is, hey, you heard one NATO member, you heard all of them, right? It's a collective power. And they're all supposed to be in the same mindset. So, as you read down in verse 16, at one point the 10 horns are with the beast. But it says in verse 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled." Right? So eventually those 10 horns that were allies are going to turn on the beast and are going to hate the whore, which the whore is Babylon the Great, and are going to burn this place and make her desolate. And that's going to be by the way of those ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. For the Most High has put it in their will, in their hearts, in their minds to do this. Okay, this is the plan. This is the scheme of the Most High. Okay, and it says that in Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." Right, so it is the Lord's plan, his mission, to gather these nations and to get them to fight. Okay, because in the midst of that, he's going to send his only begotten son, Yahushai, to destroy them all. So this is what we're seeing right now. Okay, the Lord is stirring up the nations, putting it in the mind of DJ Trump to say this. All right, open the effing straight, you crazy bastards. You'll be living in hell. And the thing about that is, he says you'll be living in hell, but really the whole world will be living in hell. Okay, because what's coming is a worldwide event. Right? It says that in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." Right? So what's coming is a time like never before seen, a time of trouble, a time of pain, a time of fear, mass chaos, hell. That's what's coming. And the only people that are going to make it out of it are the elect of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's why no amount of carnal prepping is going to be able to save you from what comes, because this is a spiritual problem. And the only solution is spiritual. So, he says, Tuesday will be power plant day, which one thing about that is, let's actually go into let's search up Trump power plant day. Get a little bit more information on that. So what exactly entails the power plant? Which it's kind of self-explanatory just off reading it, power plant. But I want to know if they go any deeper into it, what those power plants are. Let's see. He said, if they don't make a deal, I am blowing up everything over there. And that's the thing, is that Iran has clearly said that we're not even in talks of making deals with America. Let's do this. Let's go to the ChatGPT and let's ask the chat. So let's ask it, what is the significance of the power plants in Iran that Trump is threatening to blow up? Right, the power plants being talked about aren't random targets. They're part of Iran's core infrastructure, and threatening them has strategic, economic, and psychological meaning. Electric power plants run hospitals, water systems, communications, industry, and military bases. If those go down, large parts of the country can shut down. Right, so threatening them is basically saying we can cripple your entire country quickly. So taking down their electrical grid. It's tied to oil and the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, blocking it. It says the situation is mainly about the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has blocked. About 20% of the world's oil passes through it. Blocking it spikes global gas prices and affects economies worldwide. So the threat is basically reopen global oil flow or it will hit your infrastructure. And the thing about this is that Iran clearly said, let's see if chat can pull it up. What did Iran say about hitting its electrical grid as retaliation? Exactly. Iran's military, specifically the Revolutionary Guard, said, if you hit electricity, we will hit electricity. Let's pull up the report right here. So, I'm not trying to watch the video. Let's go back. It was essentially that. If you hit electricity, we will hit electricity. Let's see if I can search it up. If you hit electricity. You have to go to like Al Jazeera or some of these other alternative sites in order to get the, full quotes and full news. But this is essentially it. We'll read this. If you hit electricity, we hit electricity. Hormuz will remain completely closed until our destroyed power plants are rebuilt. If power plants are struck, Iran says it will destroy power plants and desalination facilities across the Gulf. Tens of millions in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain depend entirely on desalination, almost no natural fresh water. Iran is threatening to turn off the water. Right, so massive escalation, and that's also talking about electricity in America. The Iranians doing EMP attacks or some type of electrical grid attack on America, right? Activating those sleeper cells. And, they came out clearly and said that if there is any attack on Iran, Iran is going to attack major tech companies. Look at this. Let's see if we can find it. Let's go on images, because it was an image that they posted. A bunch of propaganda images. It was this right here, but in English. It's kind of a pain to have to find all this. So many ads. And this is the thing about, war, is that propaganda gets upped to a different level, to the point where, majority of average people don't even know what's what. And that's why having the truth is the filter. Okay, having the truth is a guard to disinformation. Without the truth, you only have disinformation. Let's see this one right here. Iran issues a direct strike threat to NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, and 14 other U.S. tech companies. These companies should expect destruction of their facilities in response to each act of terror in Iran. And hitting those electrical plants will be an act of terror. So what does this all lead to? It all leads to this is coming to a city near you. Okay, worldwide. Jacob's Trouble is a worldwide event. This is going to hit everybody. Okay, it's not just going to be the Iranians suffering, okay, and hell in Iran. No, it's going to be hell in America, hell in the UK, hell in Australia, hell everywhere. And it's all by design. It's all to bring the digital system, the mark of the beast system. And let's end it with that. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's the end game, is get rid of this system in order to bring in the new system, which is going to be promoted by a way of security. Right? I can see how, they're going to bring it around already. A perfect play would be Iran now attacks, digital infrastructure, and, there's hackers everywhere because of Iran, and economy starts crashing because the attacks of the electrical system and, Iran attacking all these tech companies. And that's going to be, the incentive to go digital is protection and security. Right, we got to go to the digital system, because with the digital system, now we have more security and we know exactly every single transaction and exactly who's who. And to even make it more secure, in order to be part of the system, to know where you're not a hacker, you need to take this microchip inside of you, this microchip inside of you, to fully make sure it's you and to fully secure the American people. And eventually, every single nation will take on that motto, because once attacks come this way, those cyber attacks, Hey, this guy Klaus Schwab said it. He said the a poly war or poly crisis, right? And cyber attacks is going to be the main thing. So nations going cyber attack, sending cyber attacks over here and over there to the point where everybody takes on the new system of the chip, which is really a plan from the elites and to get full control over the masses. So we have the insight, we have the end game plan. It's just, the ins and outs and how exactly it's going to happen. Hey, that's where we don't fully know. But we just got to wait, day by day to see how Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahushua plays it out. But we know this will take place. And the only way to be delivered and saved and protected in these coming evil days is faith. Having faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakodash. So hopefully this is edifying. With that, and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakodash, and double honors to the other bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.